What up? What up? What up? Strike League Podcast, man. Episode number 87. Got the whole squad back together this time after, I don't want to say no shows, man. Like, Eric has some personal things, and Melissa just doesn't do comic movies like that. But they back, and in honor of the release of Top Gun Maverick, we chop it up as much as we can on TomCruise. I'm gonna say this now because I forgot to say it at the end of the segment. Let us know. Drop a comment. Let us know what TomCruise movies that you really like, or just in general that we forgot to bring up. Cause like I try to keep every episode around about 2 hours now, so we pay tribute, show love, pay respects to RayLiotta. And then over the last couple of weeks, like a whole like butt ton of trailers came out. So I tried to cram as much in as I could as far as topics or whatever. And then TomCruise literally has 40 years worth of movies. So yeah, some just didn't make it. But yeah, man. Also, before I forget, whether you want Anchor, Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening, YouTube. If you want YouTube, kick the thumbs up, kick the thumbs down. If you want whatever other platform to listen to your podcast, kick us a rating. Tell us what you enjoyed about the show. Tell us what you didn't like about the show. Feedback is cool. Positive, negative feedback is all good because I know what you guys like, what you guys don't like. But hard-headed than a motherfucker, I can't say that I'm gonna change anything y'all don't like, but it's good to know so I can like tweak and alter and just have that feedback. So theatrically over the last 2 weeks, Alex Garland dropped his third release, Men. Mixed reviews, but I still want to see it. And Downton Abbey: A New Era came out. Did anything come out on streaming? I'm not sure. This past weekend, obviously, Top Gun Maverick came out after 2 years worth of delays. And the Bob's Burgers movie came out. Those are both on my Randy Little YouTube channel. Hopefully y'all can check those out. Get some responses off of those reviews. Upcoming in between the next couple episodes, there is a movie called Watcher that comes out that is probably going to get like the most limited release possible. The chick from Independence Day Resurgence and It Follows is in it. I'm blanking on her name. And then Jurassic World Dominion comes out the weekend of the next podcast. And then on physical, over the last couple episodes, it appears that Infinite, that was on Paramount Plus last year, got a physical. Licorice Pizza came out. Beverly Hills Cop 2 got a 4K. Some Warner Brothers cash grab re-releases. This past weekend, The Batman came out. X came out. Studio 666 came out. Teen Titans Go, Mayhem in the Multiverse or whatever it's called came out. Don't know if I'm gonna grab that. Supposedly Doom Patrol Season 3 and Titan Season 3 came out, but they definitely didn't. This upcoming Tuesday, The Boys off Amazon gets a physical. Just seasons 1 and 2 before 3 comes out. At this point, they just could have put out like a little box set, right? Ooh. And then what? First Tuesday in June. Man, is The Northman coming out already? But Paramount's dropping like The Weatherman, The Mexican, She's Having a Baby, Some Kind of Wonderful, and then The Contractor with Chris Pine is getting a physical. It looks like Kino Labor might be putting out The Fabulous Baker Boys. That straight to video Eraser sequel trash is coming out. So yeah, man. When I return, we gonna be 4 deep Excuse the bullshit Skype pixelation on the homies. Skype's trash, but it's all we got right now. It's Rec League Podcast. All right, we back, and ever since I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. Yeah, man. It sucks. RayLiotta passed. Goodfellas, Field of Dreams, Copland, Operation Dumbo Drop. We gotta show some love. Eric?
Karina.
There you go.
And that's funny you mentioned that, Melissa. He recently posted something about that on his Instagram.
That's
along
awesome.
the lines of, for everybody who thinks I always play tough guys. And he posted a post of that movie. It was a good movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Go
Ray
check that
Liotta.
out.
He's one of the actors that started late Hollywood, late in life. He started acting in his 30s. And yeah, his first movie, Something Wild, with Jeff Daniels and was it Melanie Griffith?
Melanie Griffith, yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy movie, and then one of my favorites of his, A Field of Dreams, with Shoeless Joe. And there's one, a lot of people, it goes under the radar. He stars in with there was this actor in the 80s. He just seemingly disappeared. Tom Hulce. He's like real huge. He was in Amadeus,
Quasimodo.
Parenthood. Yeah, there we go. And he was in
Animal House.
So we brought up Tropic Thunder off air, right? So Dominique and Eugene, Tom Hulce played a character who was mentally challenged, and it's the 80s, so it's the Hollywood back in the day, the stereotypical mentally challenged. And it's what they said you don't do in Tropic Thunder. Or in Tropic Thunder, they say you don't do this in movies. But it was still a touching and a good movie. I recommend that if none of you have heard of it, Dominique and Eugene. But, of course, yeah, I'm curious. Melissa, have you ever seen Goodfellas?
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it probably for Randy's birthday, right?
Most likely.
I've definitely seen it twice. Once a long time ago, and then once recently for Randy's birthday or another podcast. Yeah, definitely great movies.
Thank you.
Super violent.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. Obviously, that's Ray's centerpiece part. That movie is obviously an epic spanning decades, and everyone talks about that fabulous editing, the music, how the scenes were created and everything. Yeah, great movie.
What about the Many Saints of Newark?
I'm only on season 4 of The Sopranos, so.
Oh yeah, you got a little while to go. Well, technically, it's a prequel, so you could go back and look at it.
True say.
I don't know. It's not a spoiler.
I watched first.
It's not a spoiler to reveal his character in that movie, is it? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's an interesting. Look at Nick. I don't know.
I remember about his character.
Yeah,
he was very good in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you say?
He was very good in the movie, I remember thinking.
Yeah,
RayLiotta.
y'all know what I'm trying not to say about his character in the movie. Is really cool, and I think he does a good job with what he's doing with that thing. Man, I can't really say it. You know exactly what we're trying to say. I want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But definitely one of the greats. So he did the video game, Grand Theft Auto. Was it
Vice
San
City?
Andreas?
Vice City.
Sure.
Vice City. There we go. Vice City.
Yeah.
So supposedly he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because they said he was being a diva during the making of the game. But now I saw this somewhere. He got paid a lot of money. He took back end percentage or gross or whatever, and he got an upfront fee. So he made more in this video game than any movie he's ever done.
Wow, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot, because he's never been the A-lister. But we all know who he is. He's been around But it's not that. I don't think anybody, and it's no disrespect. It's just what it is. And it's like, that new RayLiotta movie's coming out, you know. But, and I was gonna do at the beginning of the year a review on the movie No Escape, the 1994 movie, because it takes place in 2022, the future.
Owen Wilson.
2022.
I should look into that.
Owen Wilson, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, it's not really readily available. It's probably some crappy full screen DVDs with horrible transfers out there, but it's definitely not on Blu-ray.
I remember you saying that once, like in the group chat, like you said something about like the DVD was like super out of print, and I was at my movie store and I found it.
Yeah, that's right. It has the old. Remember,
and I didn't buy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You should have bought it. And it's so
like
old. I bet it had the old snap case with the black tab. That's how old it is. And you know it's
I have some of those kicking around.
Yep.
The old
And
Warner
it's a really
Brothers
good
packaging.
movie. It's one of the movies where he's the lead and he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He does something but yeah, I know I'm blabbing, but yeah, R.I.P. Ray Liotta. Check out No Escape if you can find it. It's a good movie.
I'm definitely gonna.
I regret not buying it, especially now.
Yeah, definitely, because you know, and what happens when the stock goes up when celebrity passes away.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, and I gotta mention, this is a kind of bizarre role because he's so used to seeing him as a bad guy. Marriage Story.
Yeah, he's so good in Marriage Story.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and like I had no idea he was in this, and he's like great in the role. Like I'm like, he fits that part. He did a lot of like like he played the dad in Blow.
Yeah,
and like that's not a tough guy role at all. It's like a seedy crime story, and you assume, oh, Ray Liotta, he's probably like a cop. Nah, he's just like the dad, and he's like soft, and the mom is like the headache. Like he's the dad of Blow, and he's like, yeah.
And I'm sure Randy's gonna bring this one up. And so he's technically a tough guy in this movie, but it's in a comedic sense.
Yes.
Hubie Halloween. Adam Sandler movie.
I absolutely forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
I for some reason, like one of the things I think of him in a lot was Observe and Report with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
That's not a movie anybody really talks about, and it's also weird that it came out the same year as Paul Blart. Like we had two movies about like he was like the tough guy, like the hard-boiled cop, but it was like really funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like he did that a lot. He did that. He was like Wild Hogs. Like he was the bad guy. I feel like people forget he was the bad guy in movie. And it was funny.
Haven't you even seen Wild Hogs?
I don't. Why do people hate Wild Hogs? But anyway,
I just want to make sure people watch Copland and Smoking Aces.
Copland is super underrated. It's been his performance in particular. I've always felt like he's really good in Copland. I posted my little RIP scene. I thought of that. I was like, what's a scene where he like is doing acting? And I was like, Copland. I didn't think of Goodfellas, even though that's his
breakout
thing.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, what's a movie? And I thought of the two. I thought of Copland and like the scene where he's yelling at Seth Rogen like in the office. And I was like, I can post that one. But yeah, it sucks. It's really weird and it's really unexpected. It sucks. When I was a kid, younger, I really wanted to be an actor, and we would have conversations like in high school and all this stuff, like, what's a movie that you love? Like, what's a character like you would have loved to have played or whatever. I always said Ray Liotta's role in Goodfellas. I feel like to me, like that was like in my head, I was like, dude, every young actor had to have wanted that role.
Yeah.
Like every actor was probably like, please let me do that with Robert De Niro and all these guys. And like, he carries the movie, really. I mean, he's not the only one, but it's all on his shoulders.
I wonder, like, what casting department or Scorsese specifically, like, what made him so good that he beat out everybody for Henry Hill, but they never worked together again?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like worked with every single other person in that movie multiple times.
Ironically, Ray Liotta, Tom Cruise, the only people that Scorsese never went back to.
Oh wow, that's crazy. True.
Yeah.
But yeah. And one more for Liotta. There's a movie had no business watching when I watched it when I was younger. Like it's called Unlawful Entry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I like that one.
Yeah, it's
It's 30
Randy.
this year, if I'm not
Nick?
mistaken.
No,
I
Y'all haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it?
it.
it just sounds
No,
very
It's
mature.
not fresh in my mind.
He's a very mature. No, good old
But I-
Kurt
Randy
Russell.
Randy will like it because Kurt
Yeah.
Russell is the star.
TV 14.
He's a TV. And who's the female? Is it Madeline Stowe?
Madeline Stowe, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, he
I like that one.
another one of his crazy roles. He turns into a stalker. He's a police officer, and he
That's
just
my
gets
type of movie.
infatuated.
What about Turbulence?
And there's so many movies these days that basically copy that
Oh yeah.
plot. You know, there's the couple, and then there's the guy. Remember Lakeview Terrace?
Pacific
Yeah.
Heights.
Samuel L. Jackson plays the Ray Liotta role.
Yeah, that's a
There
great
was another
example.
one called The Intruder, and I think Dennis Quaid played the Ray Liotta role. Like that plot keeps getting remade over and over.
Yeah, they recycle that a lot. Yeah, you're right. But
Is-
yeah, you can rent it on Apple TV, but I doubt it's even on some VHS somewhere probably.
No, it's DVD at least for sure.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
even
so.
Blu-ray somewhere. Like a lot of times there's Blu-rays out there, but they're hard to find.
That's true enough.
Oh, it's Pacific Heights came first. I've heard of
Yeah,
this.
I'm sure there were even more before Pacific
Oh, yeah.
Heights. But
Pacific
I
Heights.
seem to like that template a lot.
Yeah, the early '90s
The
suburbia
crazy-
couples
yeah,
in peril.
crazy obsessed neighbor who
Yeah.
takes way too much interest in what the couple is up to. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Melissa, have you went yet?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Unlawful Entry is what I wanted. And Karina, I mean, you guys know I'm a big Whoopi Goldberg fan. That's one of those movies I grew up with. And what's her name? Tina Majorino from Waterworld, Napoleon Dynamite. She's so cute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about the 50s, 90s movie about the 50s. Just a cute movie. I haven't seen it in so long, but I have it all ready to go because I want to rewatch it now. Yeah, I mean, Ray Liotta's in his 60s, so young. I mean, I was completely shocked. Like Eric said, completely unexpected. I couldn't believe it. You know, my parents are around his age. It's just really shocking.
Yep.
I feel
Sorry,
like we got.
one more. Sorry, Randy.
Are you
Yeah,
fucking
I got
serious?
The ensemble cast movie Identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both his James Mangold movies are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the
I
other
need to
one,
rewatch
Randy?
that movie.
I was gonna move on.
Yeah. What is the
Yeah.
other James Mangold movie?
Oh, Copland.
Yeah.
That's right.
Copland
Yeah,
is
Copland
great.
and Identity.
Copland is underrated. I feel like, I don't know.
Severely underrated.
There's so many people in it,
Yeah.
but I feel like maybe the expectation at the time was that it would be like the greatest movie of all time, and then it was like, well, that wasn't the greatest movie of all time. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a really good movie that people
Yeah.
don't talk about as
Yeah.
much as they should.
I feel
Also,
like
like,
at the
another-
time people kind of talked about it and a little bit a few years after, but you're right. Today it's
Yeah.
not really.
Like when you look back and you're like, Jesus, look at everyone in this movie, and it's a good movie. Like it's not like it sucks. Yeah, it's weird. I haven't watched it in a few years. I would like to rewatch it. Another underrated Ray Liotta movie that I haven't watched in a while that nobody talks about. It's called Narc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joe
Jason
Carnahan.
It's a
Patrick.
cop with
Jason
what's his
Patrick.
name? Jason Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching it thinking like, this kicks ass, and he's great in the movie. You know, he's kind of the hard-edged cop.
That's one. Is that Paramount?
No one talks about.
Wow. Ironically, again,
That
movie.
That's a catalog movie that Paramount needs to put on fucking Blu-ray
They
while they're
do.
dumping all these movies
Yeah.
on Blu-ray.
All
You
right.
could use this as a segue if you want, Randy. So
You don't
That
know what I'm
movie
talking
was
about,
struggling.
next fool.
that movie was struggling with its budget, and Liotta and Jason Patrick were literally working for free. And they were trying to shop the movie, so they did private screening, and one person in particular loved it so much that he gave them money
Did he feel the need?
gave them money for their marketing and get them a distribution sale. Look at Nick. So yeah, it's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise loved Paramount.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he did.
No other explanation. he gave them so much money. There's no other explanation.
Well, that would have been a perfect segue, but there's like a million trailers that I kind of want to get reactions to.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good segue because there was a trailer starring Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, let's do that one last.
Yeah.
But Brandy didn't tell me to. Oh yeah, he did tell me to watch that. Never mind.
I told her to be fresh on the Prey trailer, the She-Hulk trailer,
Thor: Love and Thunder.
the Love and Thunder trailer, and like 1,000 other ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Mission
And
Impossible.
that feels like a lifetime ago when I watched them. But
It does, because I forgot what all I said.
when you start talking about it, we'll remember.
Did the Prey trailer drop since our last episode?
The teaser, like that was like the perfect teaser.
Yeah. Huh, it feels like forever ago I watched that.
Like
Yeah.
y'all been on with Jake. Like Jake avoids trailers at all costs, and like he watched this, and it was just perfect. Like Apocalypto meets Predator.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was too scared to watch.
Cause like I wanted to show, like, I wanted to send it to my dad. Then I was like, I don't think he'll get it. Like I was like, it's just like the little lights. And I was like, I don't think it'll connect. Like I don't think he'll be like, what is that? And I'll just be like, oh, never mind. But I like that trailer.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was great.
It was like a full.
I think like Christian Bale looks like really gnarly in Thor: Love and Thunder. Like I'm hyped for Gore. Like I kind of don't care that he doesn't look comic accurate.
Yeah, at
I
this
don't
point,
care.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like, yeah. If he gives like the best performance ever, and it's like crazy, like nobody will care. As soon as the movie comes out, it'll be like, who gives a shit? Because they change up things all the time at this point.
Yeah.
We could look comic accurate, have it be the most bland shit in the world, and it won't matter.
But there's
Yeah,
like
X-Men
this sequence where they're
Apocalypse.
all black and white.
Yeah,
He's Jake Lockley.
I like the juxtaposition, like how like everything else about it is real, like neon and like insane looking, like funny and over the top, and then he is just like black and white and like
and red all
goth and weird and creepy. I love that those things are gonna clash at some point in the movie. I love stuff like that, and I hope it's as weird as it looks.
Is this the first time he's been introduced into this franchise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless we don't know, like there's something that we don't know.
Some prequel coming out or
We
something.
thought we knew, then we didn't know.
Gore
That's
the God
fine.
Butcher, retconned as brother of Thanos and Harry Styles, and he was in the first Iron Man.
Uncle of Gamora.
Yeah.
Why are they all different colors? But anyway, like, yeah. Why wouldn't he have shown up before now? I don't care. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit?
There's
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know.
like, is that Christian Bale?
There's gotta be
So,
like a
Thor
prelude
died
sequence that
6
like gets
minutes.
his attention or something.
Yeah. I'm sick of these guns.
People were so concentrated on him, they didn't realize that was Russell Crowe.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
at
saw
the end of
Russell
the
Crowe.
I love that. I love that. It's like, who's going to play Zeus in the new Thor movie? I'm like, Russell Crowe.
Why not Jor-El?
Yeah. Russell Crowe.
What
Looks
else?
like Zeus.
She-Hulk. Since we're on Marvel, how do we feel about the She-Hulk trailer?
She-Hulk. Oh, no. You mean She-Hulk, attorney at law.
Yeah,
It's called
ass.
She-Hulk Attorney at Law. I don't know. I like made fun of it like to y'all. Like I was like, is this look kind of stupid? But at the same time, like I don't feel like I hated it as much as everyone else seems to. That's usually the case. I'm
I
like, guys,
didn't
relax.
hate it, but tonally, it just doesn't feel like MCU. Even like the goofiest fucking Taika Waititi, James Gunn, Peyton Reed, goofy comedic vibe, like it just doesn't feel like it's quality.
It feels like a TV spinoff of it, which it is.
By other people,
Literally.
It looks like it's it. Whereas like Moon Knight, the trailers and all that stuff, I was like, whoa, this
Yeah.
looks like a movie, and it's gonna be a show. Whether I liked it or not is beside the point. This looks like something that's like Nickelodeon coming to Nickelodeon. It's yeah, Avengers, a full-time job, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm gonna watch it. I might even love it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
if it's
the
great,
hope.
it's great. I'll
That's
first to
perfect.
be like,
It's like a cheesy 2000s vibe to it. Yeah.
but it's like, I don't. And we're in this weird phase because I made fun of this, and then the Thor trailer came out and kind of did a similar thing. So it's like I made fun of this, like, you know, she's the She-Hulk, and she's got to buy clothes that fit. And her friend's like, "Oh my God, your ass right now! Look at your ass right now!" And I'm like, and I thought to myself, I was like, we've never had that, like, Iron Man trying on his new suit wouldn't be like, look at your ass right now. But then, like, we got the Thor trailer, and he's totally naked in it, and the women are gawking at him. So I was like, well, maybe we're just in that phase right now.
You blew too hard.
Yeah, look too hard, damn it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. Well,
I was talking to Javon about this after the trailer. Knowing Taika Waititi and how he kind of like operates, I feel like he's still gonna be pixelated
I think it would be funny.
in the movie. Yeah, I think that would be hilarious.
It probably won't be, but it would make me giggle like it
Yeah.
was. But why?
It'd be
Why
so
did we even
stupid.
do that? Yeah, but I don't know. She-Hulk. I don't know. Like, there's things in the trailer that are like you saw Blonsky in the trailer, like as
I was
himself.
about to say you saw Tim Roth as Blonsky.
Yeah, like that was cool. You saw Abomination in the trailer too, so that makes me think, okay, like we're gonna. Then it kind of makes me sad. Like William Hurt will probably not be in it
No.
at all.
Yeah.
That's sad. But I'm like, but wait, that opens up all kinds of stuff. So I'm like, I don't know. It's a priority once August
For
comes.
sure.
But, and everybody made fun of the CGI,
Which,
and like, it doesn't look great.
yeah,
Now, let me ask you this: where did y'all watch the trailer?
phone.
I watched it on my phone, but also on a
That's
TV.
your location. What platform? YouTube or?
Twitter, either Twitter or YouTube.
So there's something going on, and people think something happened that didn't happen. If you watch it on Disney Plus, the quality of the resolution is better, and people think that they upgraded the CG when they actually didn't. It's compression issues on YouTube, and it makes it look softer, and it's CG. So
Disney
people are
Plus.
like, oh, they upgraded the CG. Like, no, they didn't. It's just it's compression issues, and somebody did some side by side pics. I mean, it does look different. It's sharper on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But
Like that's like I want to complain about the CGI, but then it's like at some point you just sound like she doesn't look like a real She-Hulk, and then you just sound like an idiot. So I'm like,
that's real.
Because She-Hulk
she
is
doesn't look
definitely
like a
real.
She-Hulk. Like, what does She-Hulk look like? So at some point, like I don't really
I
care.
wonder why they didn't do any test. You know, they usually do tests and then people complain and then they change things, like the Sonic, or there was something else recently where people complain and then they changed it to make it look better. I don't know.
So you mean test screening stuff? So TV shows usually don't do test screenings, just movies. The only people that test TV shows are the creators. So
Yeah.
I would hope they'd have done that.
Like a good analogy, you guys know I like Jessica Jones. The first season is incredible. Obviously, that's a woman and she has special powers and she has a day job. She's an investigator, or she's like a PI, sorry. And that is worked so seamlessly. It doesn't look goofy. It's a really dark show. You know, I thought it was so well done, and you know, she's a badass. She's amazing, and she's like tortured and everything. And then you see the She-Hulk trailer. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
She's gonna make it to work on time, but she's got to do.
Yeah, like what were people saying about the trailer? Like the negative reactions. What did people say?
She looks like
just
Shrek.
that. Like,
Yeah, it's a combination of.
Yeah, a lot of it was the CGI. Like,
But was there a record scratch in the trailer? It's like that. Like you expect that for her to turn around.
Yeah.
You might wonder how I ended up like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on a speed date.
It was that tone.
I'm
I'm on a speed date.
but I'm a Hulk. tune in next week. Attorney at Law. Yeah, and like I would have dropped the Attorney at Law.
Yeah.
They
Like,
really.
it's cute.
I would imagine
It's
they
like
gotta
funny.
drop that.
I hate
Yeah.
that subtitle.
Like it's cute, but it's like it's unnecessary. It's like the first time we're meeting She-Hulk. If we'd
Yeah.
have met her like in a movie or something, and it's like, okay, this is her spin-off show. I'm like, all right, do what you want. But it's like She-Hulk. Uh-oh.
Like, is
She's gonna pass the
I mean, yeah, Jessica Jones.
what's her
Private
name?
Eye.
Yeah.
Jessica
Exactly.
Jones.
Exactly. They didn't need that subtitle. You don't even really need to know what she does for a day job. It's introduced later. Like, don't worry about
Yes.
it. It'll be
Literally-
interesting. It doesn't have to be the highlight of what the show is about.
Literally, it would have been like Daredevil, Attorney at Law.
Avocado.
Yeah, it's
I've
just
been like, ooh.
When
And like that's what he is.
when Jamel like challenges her for the big throwdown, is she gonna call her Attorney at Law?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
me, the attorney.
I
Okay, I already have a hole.
we can hit on the Gray Man trailer, or we can just do the Dead Reckoning Part 1 trailer.
Oh my god. We're never going to
Yeah.
get to Tom Cruise.
right.
Oh, we're
Well, let's
getting
get to
there.
Tom Cruise, the Dead
That's the-
Reckoning
that's the-
trailer.
That's the Office, the Panther. They're the same picture.
Yeah.
The Gray Man looked like Mission Impossible with two guys.
It kind of did.
No, I thought it was like,
Yeah.
is this Drive Part 2? Like, what the hell is this? It's exactly...
It kind of did.
Excuse me. Mm.
Well, like, Mission.
I mean, it looks good. I would watch it, but like, this is so weird. Drive Part 2.
I will watch the Gray Man. It looks cool. It's got my attention, but it's another like quality example. It's like Netflix spent $200 million, and I'm like, we did not ask you to do that.
Yeah.
We didn't ask you to do it.
The
And it's like,
Russos-
I'll watch it.
The Russos were just like, "Hey, bro, we did Endgame. Give us the money."
You're right. You know it.
Like, don't
Yeah,
cherry.
I'm surprised it's those guys because, it looks kind of generic, but okay.
Yeah. Just like
A
Red
touch,
Notice,
a
200
touch.
million just for this generic
Yeah.
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 contraption.
It
It
better
doesn't
not
sound
be.
like
It better
that.
not be like that Rock movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Red
oh my
Notice.
God.
Yeah, that's it. The Red Notice.
If it's like that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And there's another
Yeah.
color in the
I'd
trailer.
imagine it's got to be better.
And then they're gonna combine universes.
Oh God.
Dude, it's gonna be the Rainbow
Gray-
Universe.
Gray Red Notice.
At least I think it looks like Red Notice. It looks okay. Like, where's the other 120 million bucks? for
I
that
know,
movie?
right?
That doesn't look like a $200 million
the
movie.
cast.
Yeah, I mean this. Yeah, ambulance. I'm gonna always go back for the rest of the year
Call the ambulance.
to ambulance for 40. That was a $40 million motion picture.
Yep.
And he's 200 million bucks and like But anywho, yeah. It's
Yeah.
The Stranger Things episodes were all like $20 million each or some shit.
Yeah.
And they
It's
look
so funny.
great.
We didn't ask
I
you to
will
do
say, I will say, they all look great. They're like little movies. But there are like massive parts where I'm like, wow, this looks amazing and I'm loving it. But it's like they didn't have to do that. Like we didn't ask them to make Stranger Things the epic. Like we,
He said-
it's like they could have scaled it down a
to
bit.
cancel all these other shows to make every episode of
yeah.
Stranger Things,
Yeah,
like you said,
gotta
look like The
cancel it.
Godfather.
We got to cancel the Get Down so we can make another half.
Nah. All the money that went into
Shit.
making the Stranger Things season 3 physical copies went into season 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can't do Space Force again.
So this is, I mean, look at this. The budget, Red Notice, $200 million. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2 has a budget of $290. And we're about to
That's
talk
great.
about this trailer.
Yeah, and those
Yeah.
movies, they're gonna fucking rock.
Yeah.
As I said, those are going to be good at
Like Nick
least.
said, ass in seat. I'm going. They've
Yeah.
already sold me. I don't even want to watch a trailer. I told Randy, I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
love it, and I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna watch it again when I get home. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yes.
with that said, for the
But we
for the
should talk
normies,
about the trailer.
Mission Impossible 7 looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
It looks
And I love
great.
that there's two parts. That's so exciting.
I hope, because originally Avengers Endgame was Infinity War Part 2, and then they retitled it,
Yeah.
and they did it again recently, Into the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse Part 2, they retitled it. I really hope that
Oh.
Paramount sticks with Dead Reckoning Part 2.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because I remember they said it was like Infinity War Part 2 is not going to be the title. And everybody was like,
what's it
what's
gonna
going to be the fucking title? It was like a thing for like a year. Like, everybody was like, what the hell? It like threw everybody off. They were like, well, what the everybody was guessing. And so many people guessed Endgame.
Yeah.
So many people were like, it's going to be
I mean, Doctor Strange even
Well,
said
maybe
it.
the audience ended up choosing the title. I don't know.
Yeah, like, didn't like the Russos or Kevin Feige like even try to tease it? Well, Iron Man said it in Age of Ultron. Well, Doctor Strange said it in Infinity War.
Yeah.
He did.
I remember Zoe Saldana referred to it as Gauntlet in an interview. She was like, we were doing Infinity War for a while, and then we went back, did the rest of Gauntlet, and somebody was like,
that's probably the working title.
Did what? But it wasn't Gauntlet. Anyway, Dead Reckoning.
Part
what does that mean?
Yeah, I love it.
And I love that they brought my boy back from the first movie, Kittredge.
Yeah.
And doing a dramatic speech.
You've never seen me very upset.
Choose a side. Yeah.
Man? I'm a butcher dude's name, but S.A. Morales.
Oh yeah, that's Sam Morales.
He's coming into like this like lane where he's just like a badass go-to guy to be the villain.
No, yeah, that's true. He's been what was he in? Was it
Titans season 2?
Yeah.
That's all I got.
He's Sam Morales. That's all I got. He was in something else.
Unless we're gonna say La Bamba.
Oh man, you going way back.
Like one of the only real like takeaways that I think just from the little pieces of footage, it looks like Rebecca Ferguson is really gonna go through it in this movie. Like one point she has an eye patch, another point she looks like she's falling out of like a plane, and I'm like, poor her.
Yeah.
And like Vanessa Kirby will probably come out looking great at the end of the movie. And what's her name? Atwell.
I've been watching I watched MI4, MI5, and MI6 in preparation for this. And God, I like them even more than before. Like, they're just amazing movies. And
I swear.
I've kind of, like, made fun of Rebecca Ferguson before, but she is really incredible in these movies. Just, like, an amazing action star. She kind of goes through it in every movie because she's so hard. She's, like, harder than Ethan Hunt, really. Like, just fantastic movies. I forgot Vanessa Kirby was in the last one, and then she has, like, this kind of big role, White Widow, right? It's kind of funny. Totally forgot she was in it. It's a crazy movie.
I remember that being kind of one of the big takeaways from Rogue Nation was, like, Rebecca Ferguson was in it, and it seemed like everyone that went and saw it was like, who the hell was that? Like, she put her, like, leg up to do the gun, and I just remember that bit, everybody was like, who the hell was she?
Yeah. So many cool things she did like that.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with Jeremy Renner. He just
off the series. Also,
he's on a mission.
That's like Rames was randomly not in MI4. I think.
No, he was in all of them. He just had a cameo in the end of.
He's at the very end of Ghost Protocol.
Yeah. Why didn't he not? Why was he not? And I read about it, and they said it was money, and I'm like, then why did they have fucking Jeremy Renner in this movie? They definitely paid all these other people to be in it. Why not him? It was so weird. I thought that
Paula Patton would come back after
so would Randy.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going. The one thing that I loved about this franchise was that each movie had a different director, but Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie kind of have like this bromance like he's the Mission Impossible guy now.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
And then I want Renner back. I want Paula Patton back. But I love since the Fast saga has kind of taken this nosedive. Mission Impossible is like the best action franchise going right now.
Oh yeah. Mhm. It only gets better.
Yeah.
It only gets better.
Movie number 7.
Yeah, in retrospect, I don't even really like number 1 that much. I'll give it another chance, but it keeps just getting better and better. It's just crazy.
That's where 1 is good. It's really nothing all that special.
I really like 1.
But it's good. I like one.
I
I
rank
think
it-
one is a real throwback to the TV series.
Yeah.
It tries to emulate its style,
I
and
rank
they
it
decided to go.
second
Then
to
John Woo
last.
said, "Hell with that, I'm John Woo."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
John
as I
Woo
said, like
part
2 is so cheesy.
Yeah.
But
I love to.
like I remember 2 specifically more than 1. Like when I think about like 1, I'm like, oh yeah, he does the thing. 2,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he stares at her and like drives and like speeds
Yeah.
around and does it. I'm like, I remember
The
It's so
car,
everything.
they were supposedly dancing.
But I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I know people make fun of it too a lot, but
I make fun of it,
I
but
think
it's good.
I grew up with it, and I just love it. I love Tandy Newton. I love everything about it.
I'll tell you,
I was
part
having
2.
specific-
From part 2 came one of the best MTV Movie Award sketches
Yeah.
of all time.
That's immediately
Yes,
what I thought
Stiller.
of.
Ben Stiller.
As Tom Cruise,
Yeah, that's-
CROOZE. It's
Yeah.
not double, but yeah. And
I just
yeah,
have
you're
a
right. It's
specific memory with Mission Impossible 2. I just have like this specific memory of like going to my aunt's house, and they had this giant TV. They live in Ohio. Like we went there, and like my whole family, like we got there, we were like, hey, like nobody came out except my aunt. She goes, oh, they'll be out. They're all in there watching Mission Impossible 2 on DVD.
Yeah.
Like she said, it was like a big deal. So I went running in there and like sat, and I remember being like, wow, this is the
Yeah.
best movie of all time.
Yeah. I still kind
It's
of
like
feel
a
like that.
specific memory of 2.
Yeah.
But 3, to me, is super good. Like
Yeah.
3, to me, is the most underrated of all the
For
Mission
sure.
Impossibles. I
And
was
tell
like,
me this, still the best villain
What?
in the series?
Yeah.
yes, without question, in my
What?
opinion.
I like Solomon Lane a lot, though.
Damn, I'm blanking.
Uh,
Oh man, I'm blanking.
Unblank, damn it.
I can't unblank, man. What the fuck is his name?
Flick
Philip
too
Seymour
hard,
Hoffman?
damn it.
No, I was going back to 2. Doug Ray Scott.
Doug Ray Scott. Oh yeah.
All the
That's
love to
story
Doug
I
Ray
was gonna
Scott. Because without him in Mission Impossible 2, we don't get Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Nope.
That's a fact.
But you know,
That's a fact.
there's an in between there.
No, there's
There
not.
is.
Without Zeus,
Yeah.
we don't get Hugh Jackman. Without
That's a fact.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe was like, nah, but I know a guy.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I know it.
No, I know a guy.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. But yeah, but Mission Impossible 2 put those wheels in the turning. Like, man, they had the schedule went over budget, over schedule, and some stage actor got the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's amazing in Mission Impossible 3.
Like,
He's
I don't-
so good.
Even climbing the building, being on the side of the plane. I don't know if another Mission Impossible movie has the tension that 3 has.
yeah.
Yes, I agree.
I
'Cause you don't think
people
Seymour
love
Hoffman.
3. I always think people love 3. Three's so scary to me. It's terrifying.
Nobody talked about 3. Everybody's like, dude,
No,
Ghost
we love it.
Protocol. Ghost Protocol brought it back. Like,
Nah,
oh, he cloned the
No.
fucking
that's not true.
building.
That's not true. Yeah.
People love PSH. Come on.
I'm like, dude, 3.
And you know what's cool? There's a part in part 3, and bring my boy back too. I forget his name. The
Reese
young
Myers.
agent. Yeah, Reese Myers. I like
Yeah.
him too.
Yeah.
I like all
And
of
Maggie
them.
Q. They were only.
Yeah.
But there was a real cool scene. They had to go to China to get the rabbit's foot, right? So
Yeah.
when it's really cool, I think they're in the car with Reese Myers and Maggie Q. They're talking, and she was singing, talking about, oh, it's a lullaby. Somebody taught me. He's like, he's singing to me, and then they don't show the sequence of Tom Cruise getting the rabbit's foot. They just show him escaping. I think that was so cool. I'm on my way. He jumps out the window and just sliding down a building. And
3 is so
It
good.
was real suspenseful. People don't give it credit, like him trying to get the signal to make the phone call. And
Yeah.
Seymour Harper, like, you only had 3 seconds.
Bro, like he put a
It's
device
scary.
in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. You can't bring back Carrie Russell for any movies.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say Felicity.
But she gave it a go.
It's J.J. Abrams.
I love 3.
She got to be in Star Wars, whatever.
It's a lot of
That's
deleted
right.
stuff with her on the DVD. Like there was a lengthy scene with Tom Cruise training her, and I think they like flashed back to it, or they did like a voiceover when she asked like, "Am I ready?" That comes from the deleted scene.
Oh, yeah.
when he was like having a like little flash of her. But yeah, these who did part 3? Is it JJ?
J.J. Abrams.
Was
Yeah,
JJ
that's right.
Fucking A, J.J. Abrams. I love 3. I can talk about Mission Impossible 3 all day. Like, I remember watching that and just being like, how are they not immediately greenlighting a 4? And, like, they did, like, 3, like, wasn't, like, a runaway hit. Like, it did well, but it was, like, eh. And it took them, like, 5 years to
Kicked
make a
off
4.
that summer.
Yeah. I remember, because it was, like, Poseidon was the next week.
Yeah.
And it killed Poseidon at the box office. Like, it was #1 again. And Poseidon sank at the box office.
Hey-o.
I was like, oh, it's doing well. But it wasn't like a massive hit.
So I guess this is a good point to segue, or are we officially talking about that?
Yeah,
We just
we're
got on Mission
officially-
Impossible.
Yes.
That was the smoothest segue this podcast has ever had.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Yes.
don't call attention to it. Just let it.
Yeah.
We should acknowledge it harder.
So,
Oh, man.
segue.
Just
Um,
Segue.
let me see. Melissa, what's your all-time favorite Tom Cruise movie? Even though you haven't seen them all.
By the way, I have a surprise. I saw Top Gun 2 just for you, Randy, just for
Yes.
this podcast.
So everybody saw this.
Did-
Hello.
Oh, shit. Damn, I thought...
But
So we're still
I'm
not
so
doing
pissed.
spoilers.
anyways,
yeah.
going
I
back to
slipped
Randy's,
into a spoiler.
going back to Randy's question, you know, I have been Randy always gives me the inside scoop to these podcasts, which I love, which I always beg for.
I have the next
And he
3
said-
already in here.
Thank God. And so I've just been inhaling Tom Cruise movies for the past 2-3 weeks, and it's been a blast.
Maybe you should see a doctor.
I don't ever get tired of this guy. I mean, his movies are amazing. And when Randy asked me my favorite, I mean, that's tough. I've rated so many Tom Cruise movies 5 or 6 stars. I mean,
Damn.
his movies are insane. But anyways, I always say that my #1 is Rain Man, but it's a tough decision. I could give you a top 7, no problem. But anyways, I pick Rain Man.
I like Rain Man.
Eric?
I think he got snubbed. Of course,
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman took
I think
away
he
the
did, too.
attention, and it's easy to see why that happened.
Yeah. And I always talk about this, that the subtler part
Yeah.
always gets ignored. And I have, millions of examples. Joe Pesci and My Cousin Vinny, Jim Carrey and Eternal Sunshine. Anyways, the subtler part, I always am so drawn to those actors. And Tom Cruise in Rain Man is just fantastic. And he was only like 26. I always say this. I love him in this movie, and I just love the movie. Everything about it.
Have you all ever been so angry, like frustrated with a person? There's a scene in Rain Man. I forget. I think they're at the airport or something, and Tom Cruise is like Raymond, and he has a suitcase and he hits it. you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when you get
Like,
so
Raymond-
upset, yeah.
Raymond did, and he hit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good role for him.
That's right, because he goes through so much in that movie, so much emotional tension. The tension between being so frustrated with this person, but loving this person, it's so good.
Yeah, definitely is.
I like
Yeah.
Eric, your all-time favorite?
My all-time favorite. So it's more of a performance than a Tom Cruise movie. And
Do I need a drum
because he's
roll?
not the star of this movie. So I'll give you that one, Magnolia.
Oh.
That's my
Yes.
favorite Tom Cruise performance. Now, all-time Tom Cruise movie is have to be Ridley Scott.
Legend?
No, it's
Yeah.
not Legend.
Legend? Legend
I love
stands?
Legend,
Eric loves Legend. I remember that from another podcast.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
Ridley podcast, obviously.
but he was like
Legend.
12 in that movie. But no, it's not Legend. I don't know. It's so. Yeah, going back to what Melissa was saying, it's hard to choose.
Yeah.
Just
Because I
take
had one in
mine.
mind. What's yours?
No, I
I
say
probably
mine
have
last.
to come back to it. Like seriously, what's that?
I say mine last.
Oh yeah, you gotta
Okay.
go last.
Nicholas.
Yeah, go Nick. I'm serious. I'm stumped. I
Nick,
got
Nick,
two choices.
Nick,
I gotta.
Nick.
I'm a Jerry Maguire guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love it.
love Jerry Maguire. And that was one of those movies, like, for some reason, when I was a kid, it was like Jerry Maguire, As Good as It Gets, and My Best Friend's Wedding. For some reason, were always in rotation at my house when I was little. Like, they always put the shit in. Like, I've seen my best friend's wedding, the restaurant scene 8,000 times in my life.
Good.
Like, they would always rewind it and play it. And I was like young. I was like 7. And like we were watching Jerry Maguire all the time. But I loved the movie. Like we would turn it on. I loved it even as a child. Like I was like, this movie is fantastic.
Yep.
And growing older, you really understand the themes more and understand where his performance is coming from and like the character. I just love it. Like I just melt over that movie. Like every time I watch it, like it's so good. And like there's so many. It's like it's a sports movie. That's why I was asked. Like, what's your favorite sports movie? I'm like, does Jerry Maguire count? Because maybe.
Interesting, yeah.
But it's like also like totally a rom-com. Like a schmaltzy like go on a date and watch this rom-com, and it works. It's so good.
And it's a funny workplace comedy too, kind of.
It is. I love like when he quits the job, or when he doesn't quit, but like when he's leaving the job. Like that's like the best scene. That's like a showcase for like Tom Cruise the actor, because like you think of him as action guy, you really do. Like you're like, dude, Tom Cruise is Edge of Tomorrow.
Did we? Like, I was about to say, did we then though?
Huh?
When Jerry Maguire came out, was he the action guy though?
Kind of like that's another thing I was thinking about. Like
I think he had a good mix.
Guy, yeah, Mission
we
Impossible.
were too young to know.
In '96 though, he had a good mix of everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like he did Top Gun, which really isn't that much of an action movie.
No.
But it's like a showcase role for like action guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then but like that was all he really did. That and like maybe Legend, which doesn't really count. But it's like after Top Gun, you know, he did
Days of
Rain
Thunder,
Man.
yeah.
And like Born on the 4th of July. And it was like, that's an actor. Like that's a guy who wants to act. And like The Firm, it's like Days of Thunder probably paid off his mortgage. But then it's like he does The Firm and he does, Jerry Maguire, like all these movies. And I'm like, to me, Jerry Maguire is like perfect, like coming off of Mission Impossible and then going into Jerry Maguire. Or whichever one. I'm pretty sure that was the order.
Mission Impossible was summer. Jerry Maguire was Christmas.
Yeah. I'm like, you're coming off that, and like, I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I love how that movie, like, I'm a big Renee Zellweger fan, and that movie really made her a star.
Yes.
And well deserved.
It wasn't Texas Chainsaw?
She's such a good actor. Yeah, Empire Records or whatever. But yeah, I love that movie too, Nick. That's in my, I think, top 3, top 4. Like, great choice. That's a great movie for so many reasons, like you said.
That always just finds, like, there's other ones that I lose my mind over. Obviously, Mission Impossible 3.
MI6 for me, yeah.
But like, I always come back to Jerry Maguire. Mostly just because I've watched it so much as a kid. It's ended up being one of those movies that means a lot to me. I'm like, dude, I love Jerry.
Yeah.
Like, Cuba Gooding Jr., Regina King, just like everybody in
Jonathan Lipnicki. I love the
yeah, Lipnicki. That's like one of the best like child performances ever because it's like not a performance.
Yeah.
Like they were like, dude, just be yourself. You're perfect.
Yeah, you're right. The cast is fantastic.
He doesn't get credit because I think he one actor in particular because he does his job so well and you don't like him, Jay Moore.
Yeah.
Jay Moore is Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. Good point.
Bo Bridges was great in Jerry Maguire.
Jerry O'Connell.
Like everybody that plays their part, it's like perfect in it. Like it's, what's his name? Shit. Cuba Gooding's brother.
Yeah,
Ari Spears.
His family.
Ari Spears.
Yeah, you're so right. His whole family is so good.
He's so good in that, like the one role where like she yells at him.
Yeah, so good. Oh my god. Now I want to watch it.
I lose my mind.
Kelly Preston, right?
Kelly Preston is so good.
There was a guy at work. The other day, a guy at work was talking to me about, I think he brought up Old, and somehow we got on Vanilla Sky. And this is a normie I'm talking to, so he thought like M. Night might have been involved in Vanilla Sky. I was like, no, dude, that was the director of Jerry Maguire. And he just kind of like had this like look like, what?
All normies think M. Night Shyamalan invented the plot twist.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
In fairness, I feel like if M. Night Shyamalan had done Vanilla Sky, it might have made more sense. Vanilla Sky makes no sense. Like, in my head, I need to rewatch. It's been a while since I've watched Vanilla Sky.
I love Vanilla Sky, but it's hard to say that's a perfect movie because
it's the most perplexing.
So many,
like, every time I've watched it, I remember it's like.
But I grew up with Vanilla Sky just as much as I grew up with Jerry Maguire. Like, I love that movie, but yeah, there are weird points. Like, the dialogue they give Penelope Cruz, like, so many weird things in that movie. It's a weird movie, but I still kind of love it.
No, yeah.
But again, I love that Tom Cruise would take that role.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd take that role today. I don't know. It's been 5 years since he did American Me, which was probably his most
American Made.
Or American Made.
American Me is Edward James Olmos.
Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, that is Taylor Swift album.
Tom James Olmos.
Yeah, Tom James Olmos.
But
that's what I said. Nobody even talks about that movie. I forgot the title of it.
That's very underrated too.
It looks like a fake movie. I'm sorry, I did not pay attention to it.
American Made is really good.
It's super good, but it's like one of those things. He's like, well, I guess nobody's talking about this. I'm just gonna do Top Gun 2 and Mission Impossible
franchises.
18. Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense. But it's like we didn't go see the money either.
Yeah.
That was a very weird decision. I think he really discounted how much people love Brendan Fraser.
Boy.
Goodness. I guess. I mean, yeah, obviously they were like that brought the old one back into.
I know Nick doesn't agree, but my whole family was like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, they love that franchise.
The whole Dark Universe execution was a mess.
Yeah, it was. It's gonna work. They had the logo ready to go.
Yeah.
Answer me this question. I've asked y'all this before. I know at least one of y'all, Nick or Randy. What the hell was he supposed to be at the end of the movie? Was he now the mummy?
I think he was the mummy.
They really didn't make that clear.
They didn't.
I don't know.
But they had Russell Crowe established as Jekyll and Hyde. I think Angelina Jolie was doing Bride of Frankenstein.
I see this. Russell Crowe, like, he was having a damn ball when he had the transformations. I'm like, man, okay.
I liked his scenes.
And then
he was going to be the movie was so of the fucking Dark Universe.
I think Tom Cruise owed the mob some money. And that movie was just so bland.
I didn't even hate it, but I remember watching it thinking, like, this ain't it. Like, I was like, this is not going to
kick off. And that's like the weird thing about it. It's not exactly a terrible movie. It's just it's super duper mediocre.
Yeah, like, come on, guys.
Kind of another one.
I've seen 27 Tom Cruise movies. Like, let's hit some good ones.
Hey, we're talking about The Mummy.
Jake Johnson was in The Mummy, Melissa. You didn't watch it?
Oh, shit.
Jake Johnson is in The Mummy.
And for those of you familiar...
What the fuck?
No, she wasn't in it, but they had her a movie lined up.
Oh.
They had this whole, like the original Universal monsters. They wanted to, update and make it a shared universe, and The Mummy just bombed.
It's like these actors they hired and paid. They did a whole photo shoot.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, Angelina, Tom Cruise, and Javier Bardem, right?
Was it he was going to be Frankenstein? Or Frankenstein's monster?
They had it all in the day. I mean, they got free money because they paid them.
They had social media pages set up. Like, it was man. They were so confident.
And they had one movie.
That was such a flop. Like, to me, like, anytime, like, Sony and Warner Brothers did something, they're like, how embarrassing. And I'm like, I don't know if it's as embarrassing as the Dark Universe.
Right.
Because they even put it at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, the Warner Brothers logo.
Yeah, the Universal logo.
The Universal logo, like, turned into the Dark Universe. And I was like, man,
and also,
really
like, the execution, like Randy said,
some confidence.
Like, by that time, Marvel, y'all should have bit the formula. They shoot a scene with Angelina Jolie or shoot a scene with somebody else as their character. They didn't have nothing. They had this ambiguous ending. Tom Cruise is whatever the fuck he's supposed to be.
He's the mummy. It's like, why? He's not a mummy.
Yes.
Shush. Yeah. He's not. It's a shoot. Don't.
I saw that movie in I saw that movie in Seattle. It was just like, man, why?
Like, I would have gone to see the Mummy 2. I would have gone to see whatever the next Dark Universe thing is.
Of course.
Like, to me,
that's why
I kind of wish it would have happened.
When the Invisible Man came out, like they were kind of like ambiguous whether it was connected or not, and then it definitely wasn't because it was good.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was. They should have had him do the damn Dark Universe.
Yeah.
Lee Winnell.
He's doing a Wolfman with Ryan Gosling, isn't he?
Oh.
Yeah, they mentioned that if it's gonna be, he's gonna do his individual Dark Universe with the.
Hey,
where's Russell Crowe?
What's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Well, we're tiptoeing on an hour, and we still need Eric's.
Yeah, I'll give you mine. I got it. If you want to come back.
Yeah,
20 minutes.
Let's break first. All right, second half. Got the lead going in the fourth quarter. Between Eric's favorite Tom Cruise movie, my favorite Tom Cruise movie, and just talking about Tom Cruise movies, we got a lot to cram into this next 60 minutes, which will probably be like 56 minutes. So, Eric,
but first,
fire away.
Let's talk about the Mummy.
No, Nick.
Don't do it.
The Mummy
so I
Returns.
think it's got to be, for me overall, Born on the 4th of July. That good old Oliver Stone. I think this is one of Cruise's most fantastic performances in the movie itself. You know, tough subject matter, but that's what Oliver Stone does. And Willem Dafoe is in this movie. It's great performances, and the transformation. So this was the late 80s. He was still in his mid to late 20s. What doesn't get a lot of credit, I don't think it was nominated, is makeup, because the beginning of the movie he looks like almost younger than he really is, and by the time the end of the movie comes, he's aged up. And this is, like I said, in the 80s, and that lends to his performance. But definitely Born on the 4th of July. But it's a very close second, and we'll probably get to that. But this is it for me.
Alrighty.
Which is funny because he was born on July 3rd, for real.
Whoa. That's what got him the role.
She should have held out a little longer. Like, it was 4th of July. But
I just looked it up, and I was like, what actor was born closest to the 4th of July?
But yeah, that's it.
Randall?
Yes, I want to hear this.
Y'all already know.
Look,
my number two would be my number one, but he's not a main character. So my number one predominantly takes place in a taxi cab.
Yeah.
That was mine, almost.
See? Yeah, Collateral's amazing. It's
nice choice.
You don't get too many Tom Cruise as the antagonist movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just brilliant. And then, like, Jamie Foxx was, like, kind of smitten with Jada Pinkett, and then he saw the target list, and then he tried to interject, and, Eric with his Weapon Crush Wednesdays, bro, two to the chest, one to the head. Like, it was, that shit was artwork.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's in the Transporter universe because Jason Statham was in it.
Yeah. Yeah, what? Such a tiny little part. I was like, give me some more.
Yeah, that was cool. Cameo.
He's the transporter.
Was that 2004?
Yep.
Because Mark Ruffalo was in like 1,000 movies in 2004.
August
and I was
2004.
like, who is this guy? I was so crazy about him in that time. He was everywhere. Playing like antagonists, rom-coms, all sorts of things. Anyways, it's really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great movie. I rewatched it. I watched it when it came out, thought it was so great. I was like, Jamie and Tom are so good in this movie. And especially Jamie, because we knew him as a comedian, I would say. Right? So I was like,
yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, he has range, as one of my friends said. He was like, Jamie has range. Like,
flip the visor down, go on vacation.
He was so vulnerable in that movie. And we, like you said, we even get to see the romance. Like, we get to see everything. Like, him at work, him dreaming of a better life. Oh man, that really knocked me out when
he pulled down the picture.
Yeah.
My
And like you said Tom playing the antagonist. That's so true. We don't see enough of that. That's very true. And he was very good in that antagonist role.
My second favorite Michael Mann movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. And I remember I tried to rewatch it, and I was like, oh my god, this is too scary. But I rewatched it for the pod, and I was like, okay, this is really good. And
you talking about Collateral?
Yeah, and it was kind of like swimming along, and I was like, why was I so knocked out by this movie? But then the last 20, 30 minutes, I was like, oh shit, that's like edge of your seat.
Yeah.
It was so good. Drama and action, just like so good. And
you speak of scary in that movie. And usually when you think scary, you think jump scares. At least it got me. So there's something with Michael Mann, with Heat, with Collateral, and a couple of other his movies. His gunshot effects are so not over stylized. They're so realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no over boom, boom, boom. It's just like how you would imagine it would sound with the reverb and the echo and just the loudness. So the scene with Mark Ruffalo, he grabs Jamie Foxx in the club. They come out like, let's go. And then boom, 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 Tom Cruise takes him out. I didn't expect that. I was jumping the first time.
You're right. That was shocking. Yeah.
That first scene where the guys steal the bag and they're walking off. Yeah. And he comes out, he's like, "Oh, homie, is that my briefcase?" I haven't seen that in the theater. That's kind of the first time you really see him do anything.
Yeah, that's the first time you actually see him.
And it's so loud. Like, he's so, like, chill. It's like, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, shoots in the head. And then he goes back. And it was like, ah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in the theater vividly. Like, going like this. I saw it with like my mom. Like, we were like,
I was about to say, you were 14.
There's nothing about that movie that's over the top in any way. Like, it's all perfectly like.
It's a very slow burn till the end.
If anybody had been over the top, like if John Travolta had played the Tom Cruise, it would have been
over the top.
No disrespect to John Travolta, but it would have been a completely different kind of movie. Or like Nicolas Cage. Like, we want Nicolas Cage as. It would have been an action movie. Like,
you're so right.
It's not really an action movie. It's like a crime drama.
You're so right.
And like, Tom Cruise is perfect in that movie.
That's Michael Mann's bread and butter.
Randy nailed it when he said, you don't expect this from Tom Cruise. So you're right. Sitting in that theater, you must have been like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
What's his other antagonistic movie, man? Maybe
Physical Media?
Interview with the Vampire?
No,
y'all know I got that shit.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting.
DVD had 2 discs.
Oh,
I was like, yes, a 2-disc. That means it was popular.
And there's a cool special feature on the DVD, or I would assume Blu-ray also. And they do a little test, and it's scary. It's awesome and scary at the same time. Tom Cruise spent the day as a UPS delivery man, and nobody noticed him.
Wow.
And he was speaking. The test was the thing of blending in. That's what his character was supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
And it was Los Angeles. Nobody pays attention to nobody else in LA, and it's kind of it's an underlying thing throughout the whole story. Nobody knows that this guy through the whole movie is a hostage.
Right.
But yeah, they got the video. Y'all should check it. It's probably on YouTube. Tom Cruise is going in.
Was he doing the salt and pepper hair, or?
No, it was him just in his brown hair or whatever. But and which is even crazier because it's him.
Weird.
Just not makeup or whatever. And I don't know if they talk about that. I think that's the icing on the cake. The look, the salt and pepper hair, and the beard and all that. You know, imagine Tom Cruise clean shaven and regular hair in that role. You know, it's so whoever. I don't know.
They did a good job with Jamie and Tom. Yeah, for sure.
So man,
because Jamie, I think, had the glasses and like.
Yeah, there's a little those subtleties. Those count.
They kind of put down because he's like a good-looking guy. They kind of like put that down a bit.
Y'all know who they offered Jamie Foxx's role to first?
Adam Sandler.
And would Tom be the villain?
Yeah.
No, the Tom Cruise role was offered to Kevin James.
Shut up.
Oh no.
Again, it would have been a very different movie, but probably great.
Paul Blart Collateral.
Adam Sandler could have knocked that out of the park though.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
Now,
saying, like-
now
That's
we know.
basically Uncut Gem.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like thinking about it. It's like he turned that. I think he turned it down or something or whatever. Like he was doing Spanglish, which was kind of out of the box.
The worst
So it was
movie.
like maybe he could have like killed Collateral.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
then
mad
Jamie wouldn't have the career he has now because look at what happened, right?
Well, I mean, Adam
Maybe.
Sandler was also offered Ray, so you're right.
Yeah. It worked out.
And it's still Adam Sandler's in still.
Yeah, but I know we talk about Cruise, but hell of a year for Jamie Foxx. He
Hell yeah.
was nominated for 3 Golden Globes, 3 separate performances from 04,
Was
and
the-
then
the-
the 2
Oh, I
Oscar
feel
nods.
like Ray was also 04, sorry.
The Tookie Williams boxing
Right.
movie, right?
What was going on that
Yeah,
year?
no, the Tookie Williams story.
Yeah.
The dude who was the leader of the Bloods or somebody, but he got the Nobel Peace Prize nomination or whatever.
And then let's not forget Breaking All the Rules.
Yeah, so those 3 and only those 3.
Also 2004, yes. Breaking all the rules.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no,
I didn't
Collateral,
realize
yeah.
that was all at the same
I was
time.
like-
That's insane.
I remember Breaking All the Rules came out that summer, and like reading. I was really into Entertainment Weekly at that time. Like I had like a subscription. I always read the reviews and like everything. And I remember reading that. I was like Breaking All the Rules. It was like Collateral was coming out. And I was like, wait, this is the same Jamie Foxx. Like I was like, wait, Jamie Foxx from Breaking All the Rules and Booty Call and Held Up. Like this is the same Jamie Foxx. And it was. I was like, oh, good.
I always had Entertainment Weekly too.
You know, EW, man, love those. Used to love those books.
I always got
Magazine.
hyped for their summer movie previews.
So we've
Yeah,
done
I
everyone's
was-
favorites, I guess.
Mhm.
Fun fact, my mom, just off topic completely, my mom got me an Entertainment Weekly subscription for Christmas. Like, she was like, I was offered a free thing, and so, like, I put your name down, so Merry Christmas. I was like, oh, thank you. I'm getting them once a month, not a week. And maybe a month or 2 ago, I got a thing in the mail. They're not making the magazine anymore.
Nah,
Wow.
just the website.
Yeah.
Bummer.
I'm surprised they waited this long. A lot of
I
people.
was
Yeah.
getting it until very recently, and then I just didn't pay my last one. So then, yeah.
Yeah, I used to get them all the time, and I loved, like, I would come home from school and, like, get them out of the mailbox. I loved them. And so she, like, remembered that. It was, like, a sweet gift. But, yeah, I get people, they're like, we're going to send you People for the rest of the year. And I was like,
Oh,
I don't even like people.
Okay.
that's nice of your mom.
oh, that's
cute.
fun.
So,
Anyway. So, yeah,
Minority Report.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I was about to
I
talk
just
That's
watched
underrated.
that too. I just watched that one again too.
It's my number
Yeah.
4.
top five cruise.
No, not top 5 for me at all. That
Top
is
five
one. That is one ugly looking movie, and then I was reading the trivia that was on purpose. I was like,
Yeah, definitely.
Spielberg,
That's one of
The
my
genius
favorite
of Steven.
photographers.
Yeah.
looks ugly. He's like, make this the dirtiest, ugliest movie you've ever seen.
Yeah,
Making
And the
he's just
cinematographer was
gray
like,
and
"Say no
cold.
more."
The future is a shithole.
You can
make
say
him
that
drink
Or
curdled sour milk.
does
Like, what can make the scene grosser?
did Philip K.
Yeah.
Dick write it to look like a downtrodden, nasty-looking environment?
Mhm.
Don't know the answer.
No, definitely.
I love
That's a definite yeah. But yeah, you're right. It's it
It's,
does.
it's 15 on my list. Sorry, guys. But
Yeah.
there
Oh,
you
I
go.
got it.
Yeah,
But
it's-
all of
yeah.
his movies are good, so that's not
But
saying
yeah,
that.
it's
Oh, yeah. I might even have that top 5 Spielberg. Like, I love
Ooh,
Minority
yeah.
Report.
Wow,
I
you
think
guys.
so,
It
so
is good.
good.
It is, and
it's
I
just
even,
a fantastic.
I
It's a
even watched,
fantastic
I even watched
mystery.
the show, actually.
Oh, I never.
Oh, yeah, the show.
I didn't
Yeah,
touch
with
the show.
what's her name?
Yeah.
What's
It
her
was
name?
filmed in Toronto. It was
Oh.
called Minority Report.
I have
Wasn't
it.
it?
I have it number
Yeah.
Am I
7.
wrong?
I have it number 7 on my Spielberg list.
It's so good. I could die.
But yeah, the suspense of it is
Like-
awesome when they start chasing them and the mystery, the actual mystery in the movie.
Yeah.
Then I
And
expect.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
And
It's
it's
so
interesting,
different.
though. The movie, for the most part, is like you
Yeah.
say, cold and drab. But you notice the flashback with him and his son actually takes out some of that desaturation when he loses his son. If you notice, it goes.
I was about
You
to
have to
say,
look at it again.
is that like the yin and yang of his world?
Yeah, that's what I would think. But
Yeah.
it's yeah, that's when he woke up. I don't know. I think it's just a great movie.
You know what's
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
also?
What's
this
that?
is like a 20-year spoiler, but we never find out what happens to his son. He could still,
he could
still be alive. He could still be out there, but they didn't even wrap that up. I found that really interesting.
After the Fablemans, Minority Report 2.
Yeah.
Minority Report 2.
Where's his son?
Oh, we can do it. 20 years later, Miles Teller. Dad, where were you? Why are your eyes different?
Oh man.
It would be great.
Why'd you pull my orders?
Why are your eyes weird?
What a
I
specific
remember
concept.
being so different than what I anticipated it being. Like, it was like a summer Spielberg sci-fi with Tom fucking Cruise.
Yeah.
Get your popcorn. And I was like, okay, this will be fun. And like, it's not that fun of a movie.
It's not fun per se, but
it's like dark and really dramatic. Like, it's a great performance from Tom Cruise. Which you don't. With Tom Cruise, he did 2 movies with Spielberg.
Yeah.
2 big sci-fi movies, and like, to me, they're both 2 of his best performances ever. And I'm like,
okay.
That's weird. I wasn't expecting that from either of these movies.
And on break, in between filming Minority Report, we got the Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg Goldmember cameos.
No, that's true.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, baby.
Well, yeah, baby.
That's the last one on my list.
Well,
Yeah,
Austin,
but
I think my friend here
Minority
says
Report,
different.
super duper underrated, and also some of the best. So the movie looks per se, as far as shade, very ugly. But you talk about direction when the pre-crime crew comes and gets him when he gets his new eyes, and the above shot when they're going across the whole apartment complex looking for everybody with the little spider thing. That's that's a work of art.
The
right
visual
there.
effects are incredible. I'm just kind of making fun of like the colors. I was like adjusting my TV, like what's wrong, and then I was like,
if you watch Saving Private Ryan, it looks like that also. The same cinematographer.
Yeah.
And Saving Private Ryan.
Not gonna watch.
It was kind of like an era for like ugly sci-fi, like sci-fi movies that took place in the future. It was kind of like AI.
I was about to say.
iRobot, even like it was like we're going in the future, but the future isn't like gorgeous. The future kind of sucks like it does now. It's just more.
And Minority Report and iRobot is based on the same
author.
Yeah, the same author. But it's true enough. It's like, ooh, look how pretty and
It's like Minority Report. It's like you can almost imagine it because like the houses all look normal and like people look normal. It's like the cars look a little different and like they do these weird things. It's like that I can see us doing that. I just love Minority Report. I think it's swell. I think it's great.
Swell.
I think it's swell. And a very young, he was in his 20s. That's crazy.
Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
You're like 25.
He's another He's so like good, like you would assume he was older, but he was like young and hungry in Minority.
That was another one that was supposed to go to another actor, but I already forgot. I was reading all the trivia for this movie, that's why. But he wasn't the first choice at all. Someone else was like, I don't want to play that role. I forget who, but they didn't want to be the guy just running away from Tom Cruise the whole movie. That's what they said.
Yeah.
So
now I wonder if y'all saw this movie. And I keep forgetting this movie. It was directed by James Mangold. And it's just okay. It's here.
It's mid.
Yeah, Night and Day.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's my favorite
That's
movie.
another movie. My dad fucking loves the movie Night and Day. Like, my dad loves
your dad to be friends.
movies. He loved Morbius. He thought Morbius kicked so much ass. And I was like, really? He just loves those random movies. He loves Night and Day. Like, he thought Night and Day.
Eric, I'm so glad you brought up Night and Day. I
saw that in theaters.
I did too.
Yeah.
So did I. I always forget about Night and Day's like existence. And he just loves it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he was in Night and Day, wasn't he?
It's the reunion of... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's the reunion of Cameron and Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that movie for this podcast. Like, I was thinking of all these Tom movies. And, like, I didn't even think about Night and Day until this moment.
I feel like it might be underrated. I don't know, maybe I'm talking too high, but I just like it. I saw it in theaters. I liked it then. I bought it. I like it now. I watched it again for this podcast. I still like it. I can't even explain, but I don't know. I just like it, and I know it's not the greatest. Trust me, I know it's not like 5 stars, amazing. I know that, but I love Cameron. I love Tom. Put them together. Yeah, sign me up. Like I was just happy. I just like that movie. I
everything was good.
I think it's not horrible. Like
so tell me this: did you watch which version of the movie did you watch?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Whatever they showed in the
there's more than one.
What's that?
There's more than one. Like I don't.
Oh yeah, there's an extended version now. I saw the movie twice. So they mentioned like in passing that she's a car restorer.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of that in the extended version.
Oh yeah.
Then actually see, I'm like, okay, it's the character development, and it's just that extended. It's not a director's cut or whatever. But yeah, it's just yeah. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great.
It's funny. Like
I remember thinking it was like good.
Of course, it's well directed. James Mangold.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good action scenes.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just like
it's funny. It was funny. I remember having.
It is funny because Tom is acting like this is all completely normal.
Yeah.
And Cameron's like, who are you? What's going on? What's wrong with you? And he's just like, oh, relax.
There's a sequence. It's not really a montage, but a sequence of I think he drugs her, and then she's blinking in and out here in different places, and he's like, yeah, we're on a plane now, and I like
and
that.
then he takes her to the tropical island.
Yeah, and she wakes up.
Yeah.
Man, but like Tom Cruise is one of those guys who doesn't have a lot of duds on his filmography, and James Mangold is one of those directors who don't have a lot of duds. So like this movie is low for me on both of their lists.
That's fine. That's fine.
The other thing I remember I was working at Target like 9 years ago. It was like 2013, and we had a thing on the TV that was like a Blu-ray advertisement that like played little clips of movies. And there was somebody that it was like him talking. He was like, "Hey, Jen, that's a beautiful dress." Like that's all I think about when I think about. I don't even remember the context.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember from that day. That's a beautiful dress.
She's wearing a bridesmaid's dress. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, great.
Let me ask y'all this:
who plays her sister?
That's it.
What did y'all think about so I never seen this movie.
Grace?
What's that?
Yes, ma'am.
Brandy was asking who played Cameron's sister.
Yes, she did.
Now, one movie I haven't seen, and I want to ask y'all about it. If y'all have seen it, it's the Robert Redford movie, directed movie, Lion for Lambs.
I've got it sitting here. I was going to try to rewatch it before this, and I didn't.
The reason I didn't bother, Eric, is because the rating is really low.
That's what I've never seen it. And never had
shockingly low for a Meryl Streep movie.
I'm thinking about titling this episode "Lions for Lambs."
Oh, you got it right there, Nick.
Yeah, I had it sitting here. I was like, dude, I should rewatch that before Sunday. And I didn't have a chance.
I need to break down this stigma, Eric.
What's that?
I don't buy everything. Nick buys everything.
Break down this stigma. No, I know that now.
Brandy? Wow.
Nick got like 18 versions of the same movie.
I didn't know that.
Nick got VHS and DVD.
I do upgrade. I'll upgrade my noodles and then keep all the copies. Like,
so what about this other one with Tom Cruise? I haven't seen it.
Valkyrie.
It's very few. I think this is the only two I haven't seen with Tom Cruise. Lion for Lambs and the Bryan Singer directed Valkyrie.
I haven't seen it.
Best thing about Valkyrie is like everyone's supposed to be German. And no one is like no one. Kenneth Branagh is just himself. Tom Cruise is like kill Hitler, and it's like he's just American.
No,
to me, that was an amazing choice. Like,
wasn't that a Christmas release?
Yes, 2008. So it was like right after Tropic Thunder.
Man,
it's like, you know him, Tom Cruise. You know who it is.
With that said, how about Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
My number 2.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder. Let me tell you this. I had no idea going into this movie.
Nobody did.
You didn't?
I didn't realize it until when, like, at the beginning. His first scene in the movie, he's on. I think they did this on purpose. He's on like the TV, the video conference, right?
Diet Coke.
Yeah. And who here is the key grip or the best boy or something?
Key grip.
I didn't.
You punched that director right in the face.
I didn't realize until the second scene when he was physically in the scene. And my dad's like, that's Tom Cruise.
I saw this shit at least 3 times in the theater. Each time somebody like saw the credits and looked at me like, that was Tom Cruise? Without fail.
So I saw the pictures got leaked before the movie even came out. Like,
man.
that's
Yeah,
the
I'm
first
sure I did too.
time where I remember seeing it was like
Because
pictures
they read
of him getting his
Entertainment Weekly,
makeup.
Nick.
That might have been it.
Dude.
I just remember it being a thing, like somebody, like Ben Stiller or somebody was pissed. Like, he was like, oh, we really tried to hide that. And
Yeah,
I'm mad.
but a lot of people didn't.
But
A decent amount, I'm
it
sure,
hurt.
got the leak.
Yeah, I feel like I did
Yeah, like
too.
it didn't hurt the movie because it was still like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
and he's so funny.
I feel like
And I was talking about this movie with another person. Ooh, this movie did not get. You can make this movie today.
another person.
No,
Man.
and
I
it's such-
even
it's
think it's weird that they made it back then. I was
It's
even
so-
like,
Yeah, because they got on them about the Simple
More-
Jack thing. They
Yeah.
wanted them to actually cut all that out. I remember
yeah.
that.
There's so many things that I'm like,
Yeah.
But
I
like,
know
And
Randy
it's so-
loves it, but it's not really my fave. Let's just say that.
it's
There
even
was-
more like topical today. Like, it's even more
Right,
like
that's
this.
true, yeah.
Yeah, you need to find a way to talk about it in today's language, I guess.
but Tom
Yeah,
Cruise was
that's-
so good in this movie that at least until like 2011, there was talks of him like getting his own spinoff.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that. I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I would have watched it, but I'm not mad that
Yeah,
didn't
come
happen.
on.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, he got a Golden Globe. That was, supposed to be one of those like cameo things, like, oh yeah, and Tom Cruise. He got a Golden Globe nomination for that because
Right,
he
he
just like
did.
stole the movie from everybody. I think him
If-
and McConaughey really were
Yeah,
like
If
the two
Robert
people-
Downey Jr. is not in this movie, I think they give Tom Cruise an Oscar nod.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Because Downey, of course, deserved it, and he got the nod.
And somebody, it's like every couple months, somebody brings that up. It's like, oh, this is your bestie? This is your favorite? And it's like, yes, Robert Downey Jr. It was the funniest thing.
Oh, man.
But yeah, you couldn't do it today. I wouldn't want you to do it today. I'd been like,
Yeah. Even
we
then,
aren't
I
going
was,
to get.
yeah.
But like at the time, it was like just the thing, and it was like, I don't know. It's even more like topical now. Like people still do these things. Like
Yeah, they
meth
do.
actors
Yeah,
are like running rampant now, and
Yep.
it's such a
Yeah.
thing that we
you're
make
so
fun
right.
of.
Yep.
Here it
So
is.
this
And,
is
like,
what?
after post Weinstein and all that shit, it's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
what is more relevant than that now? But it's like, it's still, people wouldn't get it. Like they'd set it up and be like, oh, this is gross.
I wonder,
Yeah.
was he based
Yeah.
on someone in particular? Like,
Most likely.
who's the guy who makes Flirting with Disaster? Dave, what's his name? The guy who made Silver Linings Playbook.
David O. Russell.
Yeah.
So Russell, that,
Because
yeah.
that
That
sounds
son
like
of a
what he would
bitch.
do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just the thing. Glad it's gotten better. The culture of Hollywood for so long was. I mean, think about way back in the day in the Judy Garland days. They literally gave them drugs,
Yeah,
uppers and downer mixture, so they could work like
Perform.
openly. And
But
then
Ben
that's
Stiller
gotten
said-
better. It's progressively gotten
Yeah.
better, but then in other areas gotten worse. And then they just had to keep it behind the
it's not
scenes.
even
like
that it's gotten better. People just talk more.
yeah, that's
People
yeah,
are
that's
more
true.
like whistleblowing now, right?
Yeah, they put it behind
Ben
the
Stiller
scenes more
said
so. I
he-
keep it with
he
that.
had that idea. Ben Stiller said he had that idea for that movie cooking up for like 20 years. Like he was in Empire of the Sun, and he said like seeing the filmmaking of that, like it kind of like sparked like an idea that he had, and so he was like writing
Right.
that movie for like 20 years before it came out.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I would
I
say
wonder
that's crazy.
Maybe he knows like the way Christian Bale is method acts or something.
This
I
little
was
shit.
thinking about that too, that Terminator thing, that release.
Right. So it's definitely a composite character at the least.
Right.
Tom Cruise.
Exactly. It could be based on so many people, actually.
You're right.
Like who's that producer? It came out that he's such a prick. Scott Rudin.
Yeah,
You
Scott
know,
Rudin
Could
and
be so many people, right?
yeah, and Joe Silver has a rep. But they actually poked fun at him in True Romance. There was a
okay.
character in that movie.
Interesting.
But
Okay. So, what about The Hustler 2?
oh, Color of Money.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
It's a
I
good
didn't
movie.
I didn't get through that one.
Yeah. There's a
It's
funny
Well, it's
little
good.
trivia. So, and Tom Cruise.
Is that Scorsese, Randy?
Yep. And Top Gun, the first one, there's a scene where Maverick is getting out of the shower. He has his shirt off, and he's talking to Kelly McGillis. Is that her name?
Yeah, Kelly
So that
Field.
scene is additional photography, and his hair is wet because he's working on Color of Money. He has that big hair,
Yeah.
and they had to do something with the hair, so they wet it down for him. And she has a wig on because they were both doing 2 separate projects. So go back, and it's so blatant if you know what to look for.
I just remember
But the
her
Color of Money.
She told him not to
Yes.
take a shower, and he took a shower anyway. See, like, that's how you do it. When Henry Cavill couldn't shave the mustache, like, Warner Brothers could have, like, had him grow a beard or something.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
could have just waited,
Idiots.
but they wanted to get their bonus.
That's
But
how
no,
you
Color
do
of
it.
Money is kind of low for me on my Scorsese list.
Might be for me,
Yeah.
too.
Not a bad movie.
No,
but
hell no.
Yeah, it's like one of those. It's like it would be kind of low. Well, I think a great movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really good movie, and it's a good follow up to The Hustler, which is also a great movie.
Right. And Newman
just
won
one of
the
those
Oscar
things,
in
it's like-
this one. Yeah.
I have it 9 on my Scorsese list.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
we
high.
Didn't get through it, Melissa.
Sorry. I want to one day.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I didn't
It's a
get through
good-
it.
I have it 9 on my Tom Cruise list.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
That's high.
Like, I only
You're
have
high.
I only have 18 movies on it right now.
That's half. Way.
Mhm.
That's so high.
I like it. I like Pool.
Yes, I like Pool.
Pool is tight. Pool is tight.
I like Mary
I
Elizabeth
like
Master
the color.
Antonio.
I really do like the color of money.
Mary, I haven't heard
It-
her name in a while.
Man.
In
One
my
of
head,
any
like,
of y'all,
did it.
I just bought it on 4K. Now go ahead, Nick.
I was like, in my head, the color money is underrated. But it's like underrated by
I'm
me.
sure it is. I'm sure it is.
It's underrated by me.
It's like, dude, is that top 10 Scorsese? I'm like, hell no. But then I'm
Oh.
like, maybe.
Maybe.
So I'm like, wait, it's really good. What is
So
it
What about
So I should watch it, I guess.
Yeah, this.
It's a good one.
Try to finish it. I think you'll when it's. Yeah.
You don't even particularly need to see The Hustler.
It's better if you know the hustle.
It is
But
for
it's like-
sure.
Oh, come on. Don't say that.
It's kind of like
You need
you
to
know,
know.
like
They do tie in well though.
You need to know
better
Minnesota
if you've had
Fats.
years with the hustle.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's-
when is the last time y'all saw his amazing performance of Steve Randall in The Outsiders?
Oh, I saw it recently, actually.
Yeah, I bought it on
nice.
4K. It looks
I feel
good.
like he's hardly in that movie.
Five or
No,
so-
he's
five
not
or
in it.
so
He's in a
years.
couple. But then again, you're in the movie with the cast in this movie.
Yeah, that cast is
And-
crazy.
When he does get to talk, because he's like a gymnast in this movie. He does like, he's flipping all the time. He does like a back somersault off a car, the front somersault. He like, yeah, okay, Tom Cruise, you know how to flip.
I know, like,
Weird.
I know Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise, but like his director resume is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially like when he was young.
Yeah,
Like you're
Mhm.
young, you're still young, like you're trying to prove yourself.
Like-
and like in the 80s alone, he was
Coppola,
like Francis
Oh,
Scorsese,
yeah.
Ridley
Yeah.
Scott.
Ridley,
Oliver Stone.
Tony, yeah,
Yeah.
Oliver Stone,
Scorsese.
Spielberg.
You
Yeah.
guys love Risky Business?
De
'Cause
Palma.
I do.
Oh yeah.
I like Risky Business.
I saw it for the first time like maybe 10 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, I love this movie. This is like
Randy's
Ferris.
doing the SpongeBob
is
face.
like-
He hasn't seen it.
It's like Ferris Bueller
That's
meets
it.
Pretty Woman, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of it's Ferris Bueller vibes. Like if Ferris Bueller was like for grown-ups. So
Yeah.
this is probably really what Ferris would have done with his day off.
Yeah, it's really good, and I'm always like, why did I rate it 5 stars? And then I watched it again, and I was like, it's still 5 stars to me. I just really like it.
Well,
I
of
just,
course, because
I,
it was.
I like the story. I like the actors, Rebecca De Mornay. Like, I just like
Oh,
everything
yeah.
about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the most important part, it was filmed in Chicago. So,
But Nick talking about when Tom was young, I mean, Tom was young. Like,
Yeah.
He was a
young.
baby in that movie.
Yes.
Everyone else was like Bronson Pinchot and
Yeah,
what's it, the other
Joey
dude?
Pants.
Joey
They were
Pants,
all
yeah.
like older than him and like
Yes.
supposed to be the same age, and he's just like,
He's a baby, and it's fun to watch him become a star, like, you know,
Yeah.
right before he became a star. Like, wow. Cool.
he
I like
was a
that.
star like in that movie because
Yeah.
he's really perfect. It's like to look at the poster, you would think, like you said, Ferris Bueller, like cool guy has a cool day. But like most of the movie, he's like,
Struggling.
he's like a total square. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
know anything about life. And at the
Yeah.
end of the movie, like when he's talking to the Princeton guy, sometimes you just gotta say, "What the fuck?" Like he puts on his sunglasses, he's got the cigarette.
Curtis
like,
Armstrong,
he's
baby.
So cool.
Booger
Oh
from
yeah,
the Nerve.
that's right. Curtis Armstrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Curtis Armstrong. Great.
But
Awesome.
a crazy thing about this movie, it created what people believe to be a Mandela effect. When everybody does the dance to the old time rock and roll song, they always do it with sunglasses on and a white shirt.
Okay.
In the movie,
He doesn't wear sunglasses.
or a white shirt. Which color is the shirt?
I thought he wore a
Pink.
shirt.
It's like
Not a white
striped.
shirt.
Is it
Oh.
pink?
The shirt is pink.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
He
kinda like a
has
light
like
pink.
white. He has white briefs on. That part I know.
Yeah,
And
but everybody,
socks, right?
I guess people think about the poster with him with the glasses in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They mixed
And
it
like
up.
there's the famous little thing of him like
Yeah.
you always see it, like him with the glasses. It's like a 2-second scene in the movie.
Did I use
Yeah,
that?
right.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Did I
I
use
watched
that
the
GIF
whole
on my
movie.
stack in my stories the other day?
that.
Yeah.
Like
I was
everybody
waiting
does it.
for that part the whole movie, and I don't know if he does it or maybe they take a clip and speed it up.
Yeah,
Because
it's,
he does
it's
it.
quick. It's quick.
It's during the Princeton interview. Like when he's done, he tells her to like do something. He just does
Yeah.
that. Like,
I feel
Like,
like,
Like
I was-
literally a second.
yeah.
I was rewatching. I've been rewatching Stranger Things for the last couple weeks, and like season 2, they go to the Halloween party, and like Steve Harrington's dressed like Tom Cruise from
Yeah.
Risky Business. And they even do a thing where he goes like that, like during a song, like it's like a little montage, and he like does the thing. I was like, it's not even a big part of the movie. Like, what? I
For
just
our,
think it's him. with
for
the
our
face.
audio
It's
only
become this-
listeners, Nick is shaking his head and making a goofy face.
It's that
Yeah.
famous GIF, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that dance though, Eric, that you bring up became
Mhm.
so iconic. I think most of us are a little too young to remember, but like that was such a big thing for so
Yeah.
long. I had known about that way before I saw the movie.
Yeah, I think most people who still haven't seen the movie and know exactly
They know
where it's from.
exactly. Yeah.
I think it's a TikTok thing. Like it's like
Oh, I'm
do the
sure.
risky business dance, and like they go sliding in.
It's
But it's
crazy
like
how
again,
that's
like
lasted.
you assume he's wearing glasses
Yeah.
and doing the stuff like, oh, he's the coolest guy. Like he's not cool in that scene at all. Like he's
Right.
being a dweeb.
Right,
at
he's
all.
being a
Right.
total right.
He's like
Yeah.
a rich, sheltered kid, like you said.
Yeah,
He's not Ferris. Ferris was actually very cool from the beginning.
Right.
yeah, super cool.
Speaking of
He's got like no natural charisma in Risky Business till the end of the movie, where it's like, oh, this is why he's a movie star.
speaking of
Yeah, I like-
rich sheltered kids, I want to get Edge of Tomorrow in there before we break off.
Oh yeah.
Is this going to be the end?
No, I just want to make
Oh,
sure we
okay.
talk about it.
Okay.
This is another against type Tom
Because I
Cruise.
want one more movie after that.
This is another
Oh,
against
cool.
type Tom Cruise movie because this movie starts and he's a fucking coward.
Yeah, he's a coward.
He's running
Yeah,
from the
He's a
fight.
bitch,
Yeah.
total bitch. Yeah,
And
Mhm.
the evolution of his character just grows and grows, and he sees how badass Emily Blunt is.
Right.
total bitch. And like she's like
You guys.
the man, like she's so cool. Like immediately, she even
Yeah.
like looks cool. I feel like that was kind of like a change in her. Like I like is sometimes you see people and it's like, whoa, she looks cool like immediately when you see her in that movie, and she's just like
Yeah.
wearing a tank top, and she's just like, oh yeah, she's the tougher of the two people, like for sure.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
she's
It's the
way
true
cooler than Tom.
Character arc with Cruz and
Hell
he's
yeah.
going on to when they land, doesn't know what to do, and he's
It's
Yeah.
just
On
he's
your feet,
important to the
maggot.
story because he relives every day.
yeah.
The
Like,
respawn.
man, I love that montage.
Respawns,
And
yeah.
one of the best lines in the movie, R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
Mm.
You're like, oh,
Lord.
you're like, you're American. I'm like, no, sir, I'm from Kentucky.
Uh,
But
Fuck.
yeah,
I wanted to rewatch that too, and then we got news that the 4K was coming out, and I was like, well, fuck, I'll just wait and rewatch it on
Yeah.
4K. Like, I'll totally upgrade it though.
One of his two
What
with
a
Doug
great-
Lyman.
You guys
That's
are
kind of
doing
like
a,
one of those-
yeah. You guys
they
are
talk about
doing a-
movies that like run a marathon and not a sprint, and like that's that movie to me because like when it
Yeah.
came out, it was not a hit at all.
Yeah.
nah.
Hell yeah.
We were
Definitely
talking
saw it.
before recorded that the title was really generic, and it wasn't based on anything like pre-existing, or like
Dude.
wasn't based on a franchise.
It was
or
like
anything like that. So I
a
was like,
manga or a
Yeah.
manga or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, it's based on a manga.
yeah.
Yeah.
All you
Some
need
kind
is
of
kill.
manga.
A lot of people knew about it. So
All you need
But
is
they
kill.
didn't know. They changed the title, so it was like this
Right.
looks like all you need is kill.
but
That's
imagine,
not
like
all
you said also before, that title would have caught attention.
Yeah.
Like all you
Yeah.
need is that it would have curiosity at the least.
Kill?
And that would have brought
for,
more.
Oh, word? Tom Cruise? All you need? Okay.
Yeah. The Edge of
I
Tomorrow.
remember the
that could
trailers
be
looking good.
that could be a title for a rom-com if you.
Night and Day could have been called All You Need Is Kill.
It could
It would have been
not.
like, whoa, spicy.
This is spicy.
But yeah, Edge of Tomorrow. Well, like it's not really underrated anymore.
No, it's
Now it's kind of rated. It's like, oh, people do
it's
like it.
kind of rated.
It's
Yeah,
my
I watched that for
three.
the first time, and you guys are doing a good job of selling it because I didn't love it. There's nowhere near my top favorites. And you guys know I actually love time travel. I love sci-fi and all that, but I was like, I don't love this. So I like hearing you guys talk about it because you're really kind of selling me on why you like it. So
It's my 3 for Tom Cruise. It's my 1 for Doug Liman.
yeah, I know you guys love the movie.
No.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, like I saw Edge of Tomorrow. I was like, holy fuck, that was so good. And I watched it again and started like really thinking about it. Like I started thinking, like overthinking. Like I was like, so like at the end, like he's like they get to the like barn or whatever, and he's just like he's looking at her and he's like, we got to do this or whatever. And I'm like, she has no idea what he's talking about because she just met him today.
Yeah.
Right.
And you always have to remind yourself. So I'm like, guess I gotta watch it again. And I'm like, I'm watching it again, like seeing her like. So she's got no clue. Like they're running on the beach. She doesn't even know him from anybody.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love you. And
Yeah.
we should go get married.
Yeah.
And that's a good scene in the movie. Was not really spoilers, but yeah, they get. This is a scene. Also, the scene in the barn.
Dude, he's 8
when
years old. Just
he
spill.
tells her like, you never make it past this point.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
And
You
she's
know.
like, what the fuck are you talking about,
That
guy?
was good. He kept
But, like-
stalling and being like, let's make sandwiches. And she's like, what the fuck? Let's go.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
It's like it's crazy
so
though.
good.
When the shit was first announced, it was right after Oblivion, and apologies to Joseph Kosinski because his last 2 have been phenomenal. So I feel like I need to rewatch
Right.
Oblivion. But I was like, damn, another Tom Cruise sci-fi movie? I don't know. And then that shit was like one of the best of the year.
Yeah.
It was. It was one of my standouts that year because it was like a surprise. It wasn't just like it looked like, oh, him in a suit or whatever. Like, it'll kick ass. Like, it'll be good. It's like you watch Oblivion and you saw the trailers, but you're like, oh, that'll probably kick ass. And it's like it did, but it's not that great. So you're like, Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, that'll probably kick ass. But it's like really good. Like, I was like, whoa. this
Sci-fi
is
Groundhog
really
Day.
It's exciting. And yeah, it's the Groundhog Day thing actually works in an
Right.
interesting
And of course,
way.
with any time travel movie, like with Groundhog Day, they have fun with it, and they actually it wasn't a montage. There's a dramatic section, was a lot of them, but this one in particular, where he's just like pissed off. He was trying to save everybody, and then this one time he chooses not to do anything, and he sees the big thing fall on a big guy. He's just standing there, and he goes on, and well, yeah. They definitely have fun with it and explore it. So
Yeah, so many times Emily Blunt's like, I'm gonna kill you, and he's like, no, not this time.
yeah, right, yeah, that montage.
And like the one time, like when he's running with the soldiers, and he's like, "Okay, I gotta get out of here." He like rolls under the car. Like the first time the car runs him over.
And once they're like,
And
"What
then
the
Bill
hell was you
passed him.
thinking?"
It's like, that's good.
Oh, man.
Melissa, what's the one that you wanted to get in before we finish?
Talking about good directors that Tom's worked with, Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick. Just because I really like that movie, and like Jerry Maguire and Vanilla Sky, Eyes Wide Shut is like the third that I watched those movies a million times. I don't know why. I do know why. Like I got into IMDb like around the year 2000, 1999.
Yeah.
And they would always suggest the same movies, like Lebowski, Rushmore. Eyes Wide Shut was one of them. So I was like, okay, I'll try this movie. It's a fucking weird movie, one of the weirdest movies of all time. But I like Tom, I like Nicole. So that was always a movie that I told people about. Hey, try this. That was like the movie gives me like prestige. Like that's like a smart movie that I like. You know, like normally I like Wayne's World, Billy Madison, but I also like Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, it's weird. It's arty. You have to think about it. It doesn't make sense. The ending leaves you confused. It's not your typical Hollywood movie, and obviously it didn't do very well, right? Or what I remember,
that's a good question.
people seemed to hate it, and they tried to advertise it, and people were like, Tom and Nicole, you know, like, watch this. But I love that movie, and I always try to give it props and make people watch it.
Yeah, it's a great
like everybody remembers the first time they watched Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
It's one of the things. Like, I watched it on Cinemax when I was like 11.
And of course, the
weird night for Nick.
The controversy surrounding the orgy scene and with the CG characters, and you can easily get it uncensored now. But it came out the great year of 1999.
Exactly,
that was a great year in cinema.
Great year for movies,
But Eyes Wide Shut, excellent movie.
Great acting, great story, great cinematography. It's supposed to be New York, but it's actually not. I think it's England, but it's beautiful story. We always say it's a Christmas movie. You know, it's like supposed to be New York Christmas. It's based on a short story, I believe. I always tell it like it's a weird movie, but give it a chance. You know, and you'll never see anything like it. You know, it's
true enough, and it's funny, Melissa. You mentioned a lot of people were ragging on it. And this is pre-social media, and I remember people ragging on it just to rag on it. You know, they haven't seen it. And Randy will get this reference. I remember watching. Listen up. Now I remember watching. It's the Attitude Era of wrestling. I was watching Monday Night Raw, and Jerry Lawler. They brought it up doing commentary, doing a match for some reason, and he's like, "Oh, that's just like Eyes Wide Shut." No. They were advertising it. I think so. They're like, "This is brought to you by Eyes Wide Shut." Yes, that's what happened. And the King, Jerry Lawler, was like, "Yeah, I heard that's the best way to watch it." I'm like, wow. So it was like it was in pop culture. Just
it was like going viral before things were viral.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that people hated that movie, but it's like, did you actually watch it? Because it's a good movie. You know what I mean?
It's a Kubrick movie, like for
Definitely.
sure. Like, it was like his last one, and I'm like, good for you. Like, good for Kubrick. Like, that was him.
Randy, did you ever see it?
That's a Big Ten no.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, man.
It's been close to like 20 years since I've seen it. It's been a long time since I've watched Eyes Wide.
I used to watch it like every Christmas. Like,
If y'all check my Tom Cruise letterbox list, like I have like a good chunk of his filmography on here that I either haven't seen or just haven't seen lately. Like Rain Man, Interview with the Vampire, Vanilla Sky, Jerry Maguire. I haven't watched in a long time. At least 10 years.
There's a lot of movies we haven't talked about. Because we didn't even touch on Interview with the Vampire.
Squeeze them in.
And again, a weird movie. Like, weird choice for Tom Cruise. Weird choice for the filmmakers to choose Tom Cruise. And I think he kills that movie. Like, Anne Rice, didn't she, like, not want him to play Lestat? Like, wasn't she, like...
Yeah.
She was like, fuck that, dude. Like, no. And then, like, she watched it and, like, changed her mind. That's, like, rare. That, like,
never happened. I didn't know that.
But I heard, like, I always heard she watched it and was like, he was really good. Like, Kirsten Dunst, like, out-acts everyone in that movie. Like, that movie's insane.
Right.
I love Vampire. We know we're talking about A Few Good Men.
The Firm.
The Firm.
At least we talked about A Few Good Men in the 1992 episode. And we talked about...
Lawyer Tom Cruise.
What's his other... 1992. But we talked about them.
What I did.
Oh, Far and Away.
Yeah. Far and Away. Nick's favorite movie.
Far and Away. But, like... Days of Thunder...
Days of Thunder.
Love Days of Thunder as a kid.
Cold Trickle, the best name ever.
Cold Trickle. Hey, Nick, do your impression.
Last Samurai.
Such a NASCAR name. I was little. I thought that was a real person. Like we would refer to Cole Trickle, and I was like, "Is that a real guy? Like that sounds like a NASCAR name."
Right. That's
like,
great.
wow. It's like Cal Naughton Jr. It's like every NASCAR movie. Like they come up with names that really sound real. Cal Naughton Jr. Cole Trickle.
Cold Trickle.
The Firm is one of those movies where I don't even think it's great, but I watch it a lot. I just seem to watch it. It's watchable. Like it's good enough, but I still kind of like don't want to give it too much credit. I don't know why, but it's
Firm is one of those things my mom oversold me when I was young. Like she was like, "You need to watch him in The Firm, John Grisham," and I was like, "Okay." And like when I watched it, I was like, "That was fine." But like The Firm is top shelf Wilford Brimley content.
Oh, you beat me by
Wilford Brimley.
2 seconds.
Like The Firm is
It was on the
most,
tip of
like,
my
the
tongue.
best thing.
Also, Holly Hunter, I think she got an Oscar nomination. Her
A
part
very small role.
Yeah, her part. I was gonna say her part is not even big, but every time she gets me. Like, she just gets me. Oh man, she's so cute in that movie.
Yeah, and that was The Firm, the one scene. Because I hadn't seen it in like 25 years, where she witnessed the murder from under the desk, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that scene creeped me out.
Legal secretary.
As a kid, I'm like, man,
There's something watchable about. It's one of those watchable movies.
That's a great way to describe it. It's just not.
Again, Wilford Brimley, like explaining to like, I'm not even talking about just screwing. I'm talking about horrible, unlawful acts, the kind of things. And it's just Wilford Brimley. I'm like, amazing casting, amazing.
You're right. That is good casting. Yep. The whole
it just
movie.
means screwing.
Yeah. Nick with an ace impression 2 out of the last 3 episodes.
He has no like emotion. He's just supposed to be the guy. He's like, let me tell you about my job. Let me tell you about what I do. Here's a picture of you screwing.
I think this is the first movie where I took notice of Tobin Bell.
Did he want to play a game?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tobin Bell.
Oh, he just looked creepy. And of course,
was he talking to Kramer in a pawn shop?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And of course, Gary Busey. They got a lot of creepy people in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the movie is, right? It's creepy.
Yeah, Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wish I'd have given this like longer. I've had so much stuff to watch like the last couple of weeks. I wish I did like now, like we're talking like I wish I'd have gone back and like rewatched like All the Right Moves, like all these moves. Like I could have because now when I think of All the Right Moves, I just think of Scream. Like, which is, you can see his penis.
Yeah.
I'm like, now I want to pause it because I don't remember. I don't remember that scene.
I cannot find that Blu-ray for cheap to save my life.
Oh.
That's out of print then, huh?
Yeah.
Too many women bought it.
That's a digital video disc. No, thank you.
I got the digital video disc.
I never knew what DVD stood for.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
I was halfway
Supposedly,
guessing.
that's not what it stands for.
I was about to say, because I was halfway guessing.
Damn, you're good.
I've always told
Me too. Supposedly, it's digital versatile disc.
My way's better.
Yeah, digital video disc makes more sense.
Yeah. I know we probably skipped over something.
When you're gonna be like,
well, we didn't talk about Top Gun 1 or 2, even though I watched it for.
That's true. We really didn't talk about
Top Gun, the movie that just opened.
5 minutes. Let's get them in.
Fucking Top Gun is great. Top Gun 2 was like the best.
Y'all tell me this. I haven't seen the new Top Gun Maverick. Is it better than the first one?
By far.
I would think so, yeah.
By far.
That's amazing. That's the general consensus of it. That's crazy.
But I wasn't crazy about either. I definitely wasn't crazy about the first. The first is okay. Yeah. It's funny. I avoided Top Gun and Days of Thunder forever. And, like Nick said, Tom was the kind of the action guy at first. But then I watched them and I was like, oh, okay, they're better than I thought they would be. Like Days of Thunder, I actually kind of like. Yeah.
I think like Top Gun is a touch overrated in terms of like when I went to go see the new one, I was like, yeah, there's gonna be people here. It was packed, packed, and people were dressed in like flight suits.
No
and
shit.
Fucking, like dude had the jacket. I was like, so people love Top Gun, and like I just never understood that. I've always liked Top Gun.
I will say,
I remember the first time I ever watched Top Gun.
Maverick is a great character. Like, Tom Cruise is kind of perfect casting for that Maverick attitude.
Yeah. Right.
But
and I like that
overall, the movie's a bit overrated.
Yeah, definitely not in my top Tom Cruise.
It's a nostalgia thing. Everybody remembers the greatest parts about it, the quotes and the volleyball
Goose,
scene.
Iceman,
Absolutely. Some scenes became so iconic somehow.
Yeah.
Whereas I would say Top Gun Maverick is like so good. I was like, I can't believe how good that was. Whereas the first one I rewatched and I was like, that was cool. That was Top Gun.
The soundtrack was the best part, in my opinion, for the first movie. I mean, that's
Of course,
iconic.
it's a good soundtrack.
But for me, the movie
Untitled
was.
Chapter.
I didn't love the second movie like everyone else, but yeah, critics are like foaming at the mouth. They love it.
I got it. Like, but by the time we got to the end, like that last like
Yeah,
half hour, 40
I get
minutes,
it.
I was
Yeah.
like, I get this.
It's-
This is like knocking my socks off.
It's sitting in my top 3 for the year right now.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Hamm said, like, you don't need your, what did he say? You don't need the full chair because you only need the edge of your seat or something like that. I'm not selling it well, but yeah, it was funny.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for the whole seat and use only the edge.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, like I said in between recording or at the halfway mark, at the break, whatever, come back in 2 weeks because we're going to do the sequel episode to the Pixar episode we did in March. And they won't be, but I'll be back and I'll finish up this episode. It's regular.
Yo, bar's rough like dog barks. I guess tail like dog parks. Sip on the yak, then fog starts. Rappers awkward like long farts. Bitches must be aristocats cause they pussy is too loose. Too many violate like stepping on new shoes. I go loco like I got a screw loose. But y'all motherfuckers go ahead. Listen to who you choose. It's like I only get green lights, bitch, cause I go in. Scarlet Witch, strange too. My bars mind blow in. I like the power cause I'm a hybrid ghost mixed with Tommy Egan. Any kind of crazy talk, then you spitting out teeth when you leaving. Hearing whack rappers, I'm pet peeving. Big Daddy got so much flow that I'm Scuba Steven. You start off robbing in the hood, once you made you marrying. Got the heat on my back like Jimmy Butler, I'm team carrying. And chill until the next episode.